Hi, everybody. Welcome back from your spring break. I hope you had a wonderful break. I had the opportunity to run some spring professional development classes for teachers over my spring break, and that was, to me, that's kind of fun. People are really excited, and I got to pay teachers to come in and get training. We did a STEM training for 2 days, and then we did a project-based learning training for 2 days, and that was K-12 teachers. So that's kind of some of the things I like to do. I'm looking forward to your reactions to Chapter 6 and Chapter 7, the rights of expression in the school and religion. As a public school administrator and going into being a public school administrator, especially as a Christian public school administrator in a public school system, it has made some things have been kind of complicated. Sometimes there are certain things that you want to do that you know you really shouldn't or can't do. You can do them, of course, but you're not supposed to. About school and religion. And so I'm curious to see what you come up with on that. It's kind of an interesting, it's always been something I've had to be aware of and conscious of as I've moved through my professional career. Um, and the rights of expression is another one. That's really interesting because you would think that because you have the freedom of speech, well, within the confines of a school district and the schools and how they make the rules that are made through Ed Code and other, you'll see in our law book by different laws and that they passed, is that we don't always get to do the things and say the things that we want to do, or unfortunately, we could lose our job or other consequences. So my best advice to you when you're going in to be an administrator is to know your teacher's contract or know your administrator-teacher contract. That's a contract between administrators and teachers. So if you're going into public school, of course. But I was going to say the most intricate parts of the contract are, it's an agreement. So if you look at a contract as an agreement, that means you agree, and the administrator agrees, the teachers agree that this is how we're going to act, and these are the things we're going to do. Now, if you don't do the things that you say you're going to do, then you're breaching the contract. So I always hear the teacher principals saying, "Well, I had so many grievances. I had this many grievances," and that always baffles me because I think, how can you have a grievance if you're doing something because you're going against a contract that you made with somebody else? So you really shouldn't get grievances. I've been an administrator, well, for 17 years or something like this, and I had a couple grievances, but they weren't personally related. It was mostly contractual that I couldn't get a teacher a class size. The class size was it was too high by a certain date, and we did get grieved for that. And that's their right, and I totally respect that. But if it's your practice as an administrator to think, well, I don't care about those grievances, I want you to reflect on that, because when you have a contract, it is an agreement, and that's how you look at it. So I would say know your contract. So for next week, we are meeting next week on week 5. We'll be meeting on Wednesday evening again. And on Wednesday evening, if you could send your document to me by Tuesday, I am going to try to get all the presentations into Blackboard, or I'm sorry, not Blackboard, Adobe. I'm going to try to get them all into Adobe before our class. And I will give you rights to be able to manipulate your presentation. And we're going to try that. I haven't done that yet. I've always done it the other way, but I had a little bit of some tech support the other day, and we worked out some of those bugs that were in the Adobe. Apparently, my Adobe had never been updated or upgraded. When all the upgrades came, because I was running an Apple, I think it just didn't upgrade. So I think I have everything taken care of. So thanks for your patience last 2 weeks ago. I appreciate that. So anyways, you're going to be working with your partner. This is for next week, not this coming week, but the following week. You're going to be putting together a PowerPoint. And please keep your PowerPoint to 10 minutes. I'm a polite person, and sometimes I forget to tell people, because also I'm polite but also very interested in what you're saying. And so I would like it if you could plan to go no more than 10 minutes, okay? So if you could you do that, I'll do my best to cut you off at 10 minutes, but just out of a courtesy, last class we had a few groups going over, and they were very, very fascinating. So I'm not begrudging you at all because they're fascinating information. But we just out of courtesy for everyone's time, let's make sure that they don't go over 10 minutes. Okay, and you're going to be talking about a case study. You're going to be studying something that's an issue that a student is currently facing in your school environment or in your work environment. You're going to be facing. It could be suspensions. That's a big one right now. It could be the Williams Act, technology. There's so many things going on right now that I'm really looking forward to what you bring to the table. Then that's about it. So we'll be doing the same thing again. You're going to be logging in the same way. You're going to be going into Adobe, the Erin English classroom. I will post the phone information, so we'll be all calling in, and we'll be all using our Adobe to call to see the visual. Okay, it makes it a little bit cleaner. And when you're not actually speaking, if you don't mind muting your phone, that would be great, and if you can. And then we'll make sure to give chat feedback to the presenters. People have told me that they really like that. It just makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to talking to you next week. And in the meantime, between now and then, if you have any questions or anything comes up, please let me know. And we'll be seeing you. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.